freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
Hey gang, welcome back to the 2024 GOA Goals event in Knoxville, Tennessee. This is the first annual event. Danny and I are here. We are so excited to be interacting with people, meeting new friends. I am Cheryl Todd.
And I'm the other guy, Dan.
And we are here with our brand new friend who I'm so excited to meet. This is Jacek Waliszewski. Did I say it right?
Oh, beautifully.
And he has just written this book that I cannot wait to dive into. Tell us about this book.
Well, thanks for having me first.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. So Codename Spike is the first Special Operations Memoir ever written after World War II. So Steve and Joe, they jump into behind enemy lines, they're fighting Nazis, they're running around surrounded by communists, and they're realizing what's going on is crazy. They see the Cold War coming, and they get out of the army, the war's over, they write their memoir in 46. All of a sudden the CIA says, hey, there's no way you are going to publish this. It disappears to time. I find it 5 years ago in the National Archives. I pull it off the shelf, I open it up, I'm like, wait a second, I know Special Operations history. This wasn't supposed to be written because it's 46, but none of the documents were declassified by the CIA until the 80s. And so I spent 5 years declassifying it, researching it, verifying it. Just this year, the Department of Defense said I could publish it.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I mean, we still don't know who shot Kennedy. So the fact that they've released this is kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So you brought some visuals for us here.
Yes, absolutely. So this is actually the actual 80-year-old copy. Not copy. This is actually page 1 of the original manuscript. This is 80 years old. This is what the agency and State Department would never allow to be published back in the 40s. And this is Steve. These are mission photos. Really great thing about the book is that I found all their mission photos that were also, these guys were, they were defiant and they never turned in their mission photos. So I put them back in the book where the memoir tells the story. And so it continues, and so this is, to the point where it's actually got their original print on the back saying who they are and what's going on.
So you're not speculating, like you're taking it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Yep.
And you are extrapolating it for the reader in your book.
Absolutely. This is how they wrote it. I had to combine some sentences. Imagine these guys are typing on a typewriter.
Oh, yeah.
If they get a typo, they have to rewrite the entire page. I'd
never get anything done.
Right, yeah. And the original manuscript was 600 plus pages.
Oh, wow.
Right, so these guys had a passion to tell the story of the Cold War that was coming, the atrocities that were happening. And so I verified it. And then, guess this, last year, I was in the British National Archives. I find a folder titled Spike Mission. I open it up, and it's got the actual Morse code messages that they were sending back and forth to each other. And I could read these Morse code messages and the memoir and say, hold on, they're talking about blowing up a bridge and a Nazi train coming by and 200 Germans spilling out and dying in the gorge. And then here's the actual Morse code message that is like, hey, mission report, on this day we blew up a bridge, killed 200 Nazis. And I'm like, the memoir is absolutely true. These guys weren't making it up.
Right.
And so the more and more Morse code messages I found, I put them in here.
Wow.
Yeah, put them in here, because the story that they're telling is mind-blowing.
And so your title, Codename Spike, The Dawn of the Cold War, CIA and U.S. Army Special Forces. So these special forces were just being formed at this time?
Yeah, absolutely. Great point. The OSS was created in 41 to 45. As soon as they were disbanded, General Donovan, the godfather of the CIA, took everything he knew and just rebranded it, created the CIA. And then a lot of those OSS guys then created 10th Special Forces Group, the very first Special Forces Group. And so the genesis is and are these OSS guys. And to have found the original memoir that could never be published, like it's almost like finding the first draft of the Bible, like right as it was written.
What got you to do this? I mean, where did that thought come from?
I'm going to say a lot of luck and a lot of stubborn perseverance and curiosity on my part. So I'm a U.S. Army Special Forces Green Beret myself. I'm in my retirement year. I'm leaving out.
Thank you for your service.
Anytime. I appreciated doing it. And as I was transitioning from a Special Forces medic into an officer, there's a program where you have to go through the heritage museums and all these TRADOC learning points. And so I'm walking in the archives. I got George Washington's flag over here. I got Normandy maps with actual original dirt and sand from the beach over here. And then, right there's a leather-bound book, and I open it up, and it's their manual, or their memoir. And so, I'm not going to say it called to me, but I feel that I was served. I was there to serve and to open that up.
Wow.
And they did 99% of it, and I just took it over that last 1%.
Yeah, but you brought it out because it would be hidden forever.
I have a responsibility as being in special operations and tail end of my career to have found this and to have had the audacity to think that this doesn't deserve to be shared with the public. That would have been an atrocity on my part. And so I said, I'm going to stay up put the kids to bed, 8 p.m. to midnight. Sometimes it was 1 or 2 in the morning, and I would transcribe it because, you look at this, and this can't be scanned, right? Now imagine 600 pages of it. This is wafer thin.
Oh my God.
So I had to have this here on my left, keyboard right here, while transcribing it word for word onto just a Word document to even get it to start to be a book.
Sounds like a labor of love, a labor of honor, a labor of duty even.
Oh, that gave me chills. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It is. And so when's the movie coming out?
As soon as a producer calls me.
Hey, producers, be the first on the block, because I am telling you, I can feel the energy of this book just by having scanned through the pages. I am so excited about this. So, did you ever think you were going to be a writer? Was that ever a goal of yours? Are you going to write more?
Yeah. So what's kind of crazy is that by researching this, 2 guys off this mission, they then get retasked a year later, and they get sent on the kill capture mission to get Mussolini.
You've already got the sequel.
Yeah. So the sequel is the 2 guys that are already in here doing the mission that, and I found the documents for it. I've pieced it all together, and it's mind-blowing to know that is the next natural book.
Wow.
Is like, how did these 2 guys go off to do a bigger mission?
So did these guys get Medal of Honors or anything like that, or were they just forgotten?
No, thankfully, General Donovan, who created the OSS, he also created the CIA. May I?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's actually...
this is my autographed copy, so be careful with it.
I will be very gentle.
I know the author, and...
So right here is General Donovan pinning a bronze star on Steve, right? Wow. Steve wrote the book. And then, as I'm digging through the archive, or call them the family archives, right? I found General Donovan pinning a bronze star on Joe. So both the original authors got bronze stars from the founder of the CIA. And then got told they can't publish their book.
Wow.
Right? And so to be able to just even share and give credit to that, be like, hey, I, as a career special operator, have to give credit to the guys that actually created special operations. These guys are jumping out. This was their mission, ready? They get told, hey, we've sent 2 teams in already. The Nazis got them. You guys are the 3rd team jumping in midnight tonight. Good luck. Don't die. And if we don't hear from you in a month, we're going to assume you've been captured and killed.
Oh.
And these guys, they're scared. They're worried about it. They put on their war face. They put on a parachute, and then they jump out at midnight. And then the next day, they're being chased by thousands of fascists because they found out that an American special operations team had jumped in.
This is why they are called the greatest generation.
Oh, absolutely.
And nowadays, we get offended if, somebody calls us by a wrong pronoun or something.
But it's a shame to me that these people, they get buried away and forgotten.
Right.
Killing 200 Nazis on a train.
Right.
That is that should be, everybody should know that.
Right. Yeah. That takes a lot of commitment to do that, to put yourself in that position.
I mean, we can't even get people to get off the couch to vote. And so
it's true.
It's amazing.
Greatest generation right there. And I love that this current generation is honoring the work that they did to change history.
Right.
I mean, I think it's kind of undisputed that it's for the better. Because the Nazis did not have the best interest
Not at all. Not at all.
a lot of people. So I'm just excited to have met you.
Well, thank you.
And I appreciate that you're here supporting this show, the first annual show. How did you get involved? Like, how did you know about the show?
So coincidentally enough, I'm here with Liberty Manufacturing.
Okay.
They've created just this year the first functioning pen gun.
Okay.
It's a beautiful product. It's a fully functioning pen, fires a .22 caliber round on the other end. Very safe, very functioning. Ironically, the very first recorded use of a pen gun is in Codename Spike.
Yeah.
He gets surrounded by 9 guys who are about to jump him. Steve does. Then he can't get to his gun fast enough, and they're like, even if you get to your gun, you can't kill us all. And he said, that's okay. He acts super cool about this, totally Indiana Jones. He's like, I can shoot with my hands. And they're like, what? And so he's tucked a pen gun in his hand, and he shoots it. And this gang, they're like, oh my God, America has so many secret weapons. We don't know what to do. And they're like, oh, he's going to shoot us with his hands, and they leave him alone.
That's fantastic.
And Steve's thinking, I've actually got, I brought it with me, but the very first recorded use of a Stinger pen in World War II is in the book. The Liberty guys, they're former Austrian Special Forces. I'm U.S. Army Special Forces. It was a match made in heaven. And, they've supported me the whole way through because they know that pen is now tied directly to 80 years of Special Operations history.
I used to have one of those Stinger pens.
Did you? Oh,
Yep.
Did you ever fire it?
I did, yeah.
Oh, super
I had a
cool.
Class 3, I did all that. But the pen that you have now is really an amazing piece.
Yeah.
It does not look like they have pen guns, but they don't look like a pen and they don't look like a gun.
Right.
These look like a pen.
It's we like to call it like an executive pen.
Right.
Because it's fully, it's beautiful. They started with, hey, like, perfection is our goal, and they finished with the perfect product.
And it's loaded with features.
Loaded. I got you. Dad jokes all day.
Oh, that's
all
great.
day.
I love it.
This is great. If you get a chance, you should check that out.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Jack Waliszewski.
Yep.
Keep it being afraid of that name. That's a beautiful name.
It took me to 3rd grade to learn how to spell it, so I don't hold it against anyone.
Thank you so much for taking the time, for being here with us. Tell folks how they can get their very own copy of this amazing book. And is it audiobooked?
Audiobook's coming out next month. It's available on Amazon.com. Just codename Spike, and you can get it in Kindle, paperback, hardcover, and soon to be Audible.
Fantastic. You never know who you're going to meet and form a relationship with at an event like the GOA Goals event. And I just encourage everybody, the next year, get in early, be here, don't miss it. Hunt down Jack. I'm sure he's going to be here with the sequel book, right?
Absolutely.
I love it. Fantastic. Stick around. So much more coming up from the 2024 Goals event in Knoxville, Tennessee.